Hello world, I'm Chris Perillo, and this is my review of the Samsung Galaxy Note 2. This product was provided to me by T-Mobile, and I'm very grateful for that. Before I go on, I'm going to hold this up side by side next to its little brother in just about every sense of the word, the Samsung Galaxy S3, just so you can get an idea about just how large that screen is. In fact, it's one of the things I like most about this device. Its screen. It's big. And in many cases, that's a good thing, especially when it came to watching video, viewing photos, playing games, whether I was playing it just with the device itself or using the Moga controller, which did make it easier in certain games. And I would say that that never really got in the way of the experience. In fact, I felt that the phone kind of disappeared and I just enjoyed the media content. It is a great media consumption device. No doubt about it. Another thing that I happen to like about this particular device is this, the S Pen. No, it's not a stylus. In fact, there's a button on there, and if I press it down and, let's see here, make a gesture on the screen like a carrot, the settings menu will pop up. If I press that button again and swipe up, I'll get this quick command menu, which is actually kind of neat. I haven't used a stylus in years, years and years and years, and I guess I kind of miss it a bit, especially when it came to writing notes. So I'm going to hold that button again, double tap, write notes, and it's pressure sensitive. So if I just barely touch the screen, it's a very light line, and if I press down on the screen, apparently I need water. I apologize, I'm going to push through. So I really appreciated the S Pen. Another thing that I happen to appreciate about it, battery life. You know, it would take a tremendous battery to keep this screen powered, and the battery stood the test. I was able to get through most of the day doing the things that I needed to do without needing to recharge. And that, to me, is the hallmark of a good smartphone. The last thing I wanted to say that I liked specifically is, and I realize this is going to change over time, this happens to be the fastest Android device I've used to date. And there are a lot of Android devices out there. This was fast. It was definitely faster than the Galaxy S3. And I know you've read the specs, you've probably seen the benchmarks. I'm just telling you, by experience, by feel, it was faster. As I noted during the live unboxing and initial impressions that we did the other day, the animations tended to be smoother, like specifically in Flipboard when I was flipping through different pages up and down. I would not see any dropped frames in the transition. That was nice. I really appreciated that. Had not seen that level of performance in an Android device to date. And that's by and large. It's been a good experience. So now that I've said that, let me go ahead and tell you what I didn't like. And again, my experience may not mirror yours. It's just been my experience. I'm telling you what I like and what I didn't like. This phone seemed to buckle under processing. If there's too much happening at any given time, like right now, I've got a lot of, I would say, notifications on the screen, and that animation is dragging. That's like dropping frames left and right, scrolling up and down. That's just not clean experience. I did not like that. I don't like that at all, no matter what the device happens to be. So it's got a fast processor inside, but when there's a lot of things happening, if the software hasn't been optimized, you get dropped frames. I also saw in different applications, including Google Chrome, dropped frames, specifically when scrolling on a web page. It wasn't a very smooth experience, or as smooth as I may have been accustomed to on other devices. So the screen, once it gets going, it's fine, but there's still, yes, that classic stuttering or jumping that is prevalent in Android, no matter which version you're running right now. You may not see it. If you've been used to 60 frames per second experience, anything less than that can absolutely be jarring. The screen, as large as it is, and as great as it is for media and gaming, wasn't that great for text. It wasn't very sharp, or as sharp as I would have hoped it to be. Not to mention, and I don't know if it's really going to translate well on camera here, but the animation of the text that's scrolling, it's kind of flashing. I have no other way of describing that other than to say that it's just not a very smooth experience. The frame rate is not there to make it not seem like I'm staring at a computer screen, specifically when I'm looking at text. The photo and video, yes, it's a great camera, absolutely, no doubt. But the images and the videos just didn't quite capture the colors. They weren't as true to life as I would have hoped. They used the same camera, or pretty much the same camera, in the Samsung Galaxy S3 as well as the Galaxy Note 2. So if you've seen samples from this device, you would have seen samples from this device. They're pretty much the same thing. They were good, they just weren't great. So the bottom line, if you don't mind those caveats that I mentioned, the lag, some amounts of stuttering, and in other parts also getting good performance, it is a recommended device. As I said, it has been the fastest Android experience that I've had to date. It's very difficult to compare this to any other Android device other than the Galaxy S3. And I'm going to do my best to, in a separate video, compare it with an iPhone, but I just don't think that's really fair to either device because this stands well enough on its own, or specifically when you're comparing it to something that you should be comparing it to, a Samsung Galaxy S3. You know, I really like the device. If I had a choice between these two, yes, I would absolutely carry around a Galaxy Note 2. Is it worth upgrading? If you would like to use the stylus, yes. If you want to live on the bleeding edge, yes. If you want a larger screen, yes. This is recommended if you want to upgrade from this device to this device. Should you upgrade outright? That's completely up to you. My experiences are my own. You should look at other reviews. You should see the device yourself in person. If there was something that I may have missed, it was not intentional. I can't cover everything. But I hope that I covered this well enough to help you make up your mind.